What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, it's time for another top 10 list. We're going to be counting down from 10 to 1 here, and today's list comes courtesy of our longtime friend and patron of the channel, Åsmund. Åsmund has been listening to a ridiculous amount of 2021 albums. I think he told me he listened to over 150 or so, and so today Åsmund said he's going to be counting down his personal top 10 songs of 2021. I'm looking forward to this, man. I didn't listen to quite as many records from this year as Åsmund did. Still listen to quite a bit. Familiar with a few of the songs on here, but a lot of these I'm still not familiar with. So I'm looking forward to diving into it, man. Due to copyright, music won't be in this video, but check out the Vimeo link down below, and you can check out the full video uncut here. And I guess without further ado, man, we'll get into it. Of course, let me know your top 10 favorite songs from 2021 releases down below, and I will also have, and might already by the time this video goes up, my top 25 albums of the year as well. A pretty good year in music in my estimation, man. But all that to say, enough talk. Let's just get into this list. Is always going to have the lyrics pulled up, and just going to sit back and enjoy these tunes, man. So coming in at number 10 from Elephant Micah, we have Glacier Advisors from the record Vague Tidings. Elephant Micah is the stage name of a southern Indiana songwriter and multi-instrumentalist, Joseph O'Connell. Recording mostly at home, O'Connell has produced an eclectic body of work since beginning the project in 2000. Elephant Micah's inconsistently available music has become a cult favorite among the lo-fi, indie, and folk rock audiences. Gotta say, I'm not familiar with anything from Elephant Micah, so to come in on Åsmund's top 10 list, man, must be pretty stout. Let's get into this. All right, Elephant Micah with the track Glacier Advisors, man. I believe this is the longest song on the list here, man. Starting it off, and I gotta admit, first half, I was digging it for what it was. It seems to be going a little slow for me, but that just showed I needed to have patience, man, because I think those last 2 minutes in particular, when the a female backing vocalist came in, I believe we had a little saxophone action in there. The piano kind of took more prominence, and it just was a really well done progression in the song, man, that awarded kind of your patience over here, and very professional musicianship just all the way around, man. So shout out to the instrumentation on this, and lyrically, man, I think Elephant Micah here, man, just from what I'm thinking of, you think glacier movers, what do you think? You kind of think global warming possibly, or just somebody with a lot of power if you're going to move glacier, so to speak. He starts off saying, ill advisors, none the wiser for collecting these stars in their arms. That just makes me think, being here in America, you get these, big old generals or government officials who have all the accolades, the stars on their uniforms or their arms in particular, but they might not know what is actually best whenever it comes to moving the glacier, so to speak, or making the big decisions for the populace at large, if you will. He continues to go and say, every view of the moon is now at your command, the map in your hands. He furthers this by saying, elder archers, every arrow is bound to fly far from the mark. I think here Elephant Micah is, it doesn't have a lot of trust in the, powers that be to be able to make the right decisions for the people that are on Earth right now, man. So, and he kind of finishes with that stars in their arms motif right there. So all in all, impressive work by Elephant Micah here, man. I'm gonna have to check out some more of his stuff. I kind of dig the way he was able to blend just the lo-fi, indie, and folk music together. And coming in now at number 9, we're gonna head over to Africa with Mdu Maktar and his record Afrique Victim here. Man, looking forward to kind of diving into this. He has an interesting story going off of his bio. He's a Tuareg songwriter and musician based in Niger who performs modern adaptations of Tuareg guitar music, also dubbed as desert blues. He first gained prominent notice through a trading network of cell phones and memory cards in West Africa. He's released 5 solo albums to date, and this is the title track off of his record that came out this year, man. So really looking forward to this one. Let's see what we got. What an absolute jam this was right here. So much to enjoy. Obviously, his guitar playing is just next level, through the roof, man. Didn't hold anything back and continued to ramp up as the song progressed right here. The percussion as well, some of those drum fills were almost a bit 80s like in their sound, and a prominent bass line to just give you a solid rhythm foundation, as you expect with a lot of music that comes from Africa. Africa right here, man. And as we go through lyrically, I have an English translation here on Genius. I don't know how right it is or not, but hey, man, it seems to make sense. He notes, Africa is a victim of so many crimes. If we stay silent, it will be the end of us. Why is this happening? What is the reason behind this? My brothers and sisters, tell me, why is this happening? And he continues to repeat a lot of these phrases as the song goes on, and I think that fits well with the music that ramps up, almost like there's a sense of urgency in the song as well, as he's able to relay his emotions through that guitar playing. Just really, really enjoyed this song. Got to give it the big old heart treatment right here, man, and definitely got to check out this album. So thanks to Åsmund for bringing that to my attention, man. Loved everything about that one. And now we're gonna go to number 8 on the list. We have a group called Needlepoint here, with the song Rules of a Madman from their record Walking Up That Valley. A little crossover prog group from the place where Åsmund resides, Norway. So looking forward to checking this one out. Don't know anything about them, so let's hear it, man. All right, Rules of a Madman, bringing it here. What a drum performance, solo we had in those last 2 minutes there. That was probably just the climax and the highlight for me on this jam. But all that to say too, I think the the organ work, the piano work as well, kind of it gave it a bit of a just relaxed atmosphere. I love the vocal delivery as well, not too overbearing, and again, just kind of something that regardless of what country you're in, you can kind of relate to, as he kind of makes a metaphor with those in power to a chess game. A pawn came whizzing from the sky onto the chessboard from up high, joined the war with the white, always ready for a fight. And then we get that chorus, stuck like a rook when he wanted to, but then he's a little bit devious, man. He snatched the sword from the knight, disguised as the humblest of bishops. He went both back and forth to the sides, left and right. Can you believe it? So many people follow the rules of the madman. I think just that sense when you get people, usually in a political sense, that rise up to power, and then the people at large just kind of go with the flow, even though oftentimes we shouldn't, man. So yet again, I think just through these first 3 songs, I'm really impressed just by how great the musicianship has been, how tight everything's been, and Rules of a Madman has been no different. And now we're going to get our singer-songwriter on. As we go to number 7 on the list, we have Sky Blue Bad News from Laura Stevenson, from her self-titled record here. She's an American singer-songwriter from Long Island, New York, formerly a keyboard player for the musical collective Bomb the Music Industry. This is her 6th album. I am digging this little album cover that's almost like a painting, I guess you could say. So it kind of intrigues me from the gate right there. Let's hear what we got. All right, Sky Blue Bad News. Laura Stevenson coming in here, man. My favorite part of this song was definitely Laura's songwriting here. Her voice didn't really resonate with me that much, to be honest with you. Musically, it kind of had that, just an acoustic guitar or singer-songwriter sound that you hear a lot nowadays. But the storytelling that Laura brought here, I thought, was quite powerful and strong. So she kind of builds the imagery, talking about a creek rising, and then brings in the bug metaphor with the bug sucking her up dry right there. She continues to go on, and she notes that she says, I make amends to everyone that I've left standing, while time's clicking like a fan, and I'm sticking in my hand, and the sky is bright blue, waiting on bad news. I think that's kind of a metaphor for her mental state. Obviously, it seems like she's dealing with some trials here, so that sense where, the sky's blue, well, guess what? When's that bad news gonna come? Maybe when is it gonna turn gray, or when is my life gonna kind of take a turn for the worse? Maybe when the sky is blue and everybody else is feeling good right there. She obviously wants to make things right. She asks multiple times throughout the songs, can I make these amends to everyone that I've left standing here? I think one of her friends mentions to her, hey, take the year, try to maybe regroup yourself, myself, maybe I'll be better in a year and maybe I'll deserve it then. Then in the ending, she asks, did I hurt someone? Was I ever any good? And she says, I know I was. But then she switches it and says, was I ungrateful? I was. You know, it can be those two things. You can recognize those areas where you were good at and also the areas where maybe you could have done better. And man, all you can do is kind of learn from it and move on there. So shout out to Laura Stevenson for bringing that one. And shout out now as we go to the next song on the list, number 6. Coming from possibly my album of the year here, we got Little Simz with the track Introvert, the lead single from her fantastic record, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. Little Simz, a British-Nigerian rapper, singer, and actress who has had quite a bit of acclaim. Her last record won the Novello Award and the NME Award for Best Album of the Year. And I mean, I know this record's already gotten a lot of acclaim on a bunch of year-end lists. And so, man, if you haven't listened to this one yet, you're in for a treat. Fantastic production, and I just love the way that Little Simz is able to rap so flawlessly. The opener to this fantastic record. Let's get it. Introvert, the opener to Little Simz, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert record. What a this is one of the best songs of the year for sure, in my opinion, Åsmund. So I'm so glad you had it on the list here. Just starting off with the instrumentation, the production on this was just flawless, man. Love the mixing of the instrumentation, the almost triumphant way that the song starts with the drum line coming in, and then the orchestration and the horns that come up as well. It just makes for a very almost epic cinematic type of a track, I guess you could say. You could feel that this had some importance to it from the opening minutes, man. And then Little Simz comes in, man. So I can't highlight every bar that was just great, but she has so many great lines in this. She says, as she continues to go on, she kind of just paints the darkness of the world. She says, but if you can't feel pain, then you can't feel the opposite. The fight between the yin and the yang's a fight you'll never win. I study humans. That makes me an anthropologist. I'm not into politics, but I know it's dark times. Parts of the world still living in apartheid. Ooh. I thought that was unbelievable. She continues to note some of the death and illness that was in her family, and then we have Cleo Soul up in here as well that gives some refrains and a bit of a sweeter maybe edge to the just truth that Simz is spitting in here. I think she's a great addition to the track. And then that second verse is where Simz really kind of turns to herself, gets that introspective nature in here. She says, I sabotage what we are trying to build because of feelings I keep inside, but it's time to reveal. She continues to go on, notes that she hates the thought of just being a burden, hates these conversations are surface. To you, I'm smiling, but really I'm hurting. I dedicate my life and gave my heart over 20-something years, left wondering how I even feel. But was it even worth it? I bottle up, then spill it in these verses. One day I'm wordless, the next I'm a wordsmith. And she continues on with that. I just think her delivery is just on point. Her flow is great, and doing it in her accent, at least to me, it just makes it sound all that much cooler, man. So shout out to Little Simz, man. Shout out to Åsmund for placing her on this list, and we're gonna keep on going as we go now to number 5 on the list. We have the track Ambiguous Norway, man. Norway getting some love a couple different times. I love it here, Åsmund. This is from Cassandra Jenkins' record, An Overview of Phenomenal Nature. I listened to this earlier in the year as well. I don't remember this track just right off the top of my head, but I remember liking this album. Cassandra's an American singer, songwriter, and musician based in Brooklyn, New York. This is her second record. So yeah, man, let's get to it. Wow, great song. The synthesizer really just kind of puts you in a certain type of mood right here. And I was just reading the little kind of quick facts at the Genius here, and man, powerful backstory to this too. Cassandra was supposed to join David Berman on his comeback tour as Purple Mountains back in 2019, but just before the tour started, he committed suicide, taking the music world by surprise. And she even noted about this song that it's named after one of his cartoons, and it's about the moment where I was experiencing this grief of David passing away, where I was really saturated in it. I threw myself onto this island in Norway, thinking I could sort of leave that behind to a certain extent, and realizing that it didn't matter what corner of the planet I find myself on, I was still interacting with the impression of his death, and finding that there were all these coincidences everywhere I went. So knowing that, it kind of gives some more, backstory into the song as we go in there. It kind of makes sense. Landing in Oslo, there's still something in the air. No matter where I go, you're gone. You're everywhere. And just that grief you can just tell from Cassandra's vocal delivery in this song right here, man. And I think even just the music itself with the synthesizer and the kind of acoustic guitar just kind of has that sense of melancholy to it as well. But then at the end, she notes that this poetry is not lost on me. I'm left asking how it found me. I walk around alone, laughing in the street. So maybe she kind of turning that point and that grief where you try to break on through to the other side, so to speak, man. But all in all, really, really good song right here, man. And had to give it that heart treatment. I should have on my first listen, man. What was I doing? I'm glad Åsmund was here to pick me up, man. And so now we're going to number 4 on the list. We're going to keep the ladies rocking, man, with Emma Ruth Rundle and her track Citadel from the record Engine of Hell. She is based out of Portland, Oregon, has released 5 solo records, and is also a member of the Red Sparrows. She cited Kate Bush and David Lynch as influences. That's a 1-2 artistic punch right there, if I've ever heard one, man. So let's cue this one up. Emma Ruth Rundle with Citadel, man. A powerful tune that was obviously very stripped back when you're talking instrumentation. Really just that acoustic guitar that kind of ranged in intensity on the strumming of it, and really just Emma's sweet voice that we're delivering some darker and very introspective, emotionally raw lyricism, man. She notes at the start, there's a fortress in my heart. I try to go there in my dream. Aren't any songs for me to sing, not in the fortress of my heart. So already kind of building this citadel, this place that she can almost retreat and escape to. She notes then that why is she going here? Well, it's this weight that's coming down on her. Bone by piece, I'm bricking me over. She says, on my way down, most of my life, I was trained how just to lay down and never ask why. Just to stay down where it's safe now. So go back to that safe space inside herself. And, I can tell you as a counselor, that's not always the healthiest thing, to look into ourselves and retreat and possibly isolate. But I say that to myself because that's kind of my type of personality as well, man. Just kind of retreat, leave me alone for a bit, and then I can kind of push on through after that. And that kind of seems to be the heart of what she's going at here. She, again, kind of raises this influence, this dark influence where she says there's a destroyer in my blood who's handed down and waits for me. I have no air. I cannot breathe. So again, we kind of almost feel this sense of desperation inside Emma here. And she continues to go through. She asks that question, am I safe now that she's in that citadel of self? She says that she can be safe towards the end. And man, I hope for her sake in this track that she was. So great song right there, Åsmund. That's another artist I gotta put on my radar here, as well as the number 3 artist on Åsmund's list. We have Deafheaven, who is a band I've heard a lot about but have never checked out, with their song Shell Star. This group is an American band formed in 2010. Originally based in San Francisco, the group began as a 2-piece with singer George Clark and guitarist Carrie McCoy, who recorded and self-released a demo album together. Following that release, they recruited 3 new members, began to tour, and established a unique style blending black metal, shoegazing, post-rock, among other influences, later called black gaze by reviewers. This record has a lot less scream vocals, and this is also the opener to this record. So let's cue this one up, man. I'm excited to hear what we got. All right, Deafheaven bringing it on this one, man. Definitely brought the atmospheric vibes, I guess you could say, on this one, especially as we built up to that chorus. It took 2.5 minutes before those guitars really started soaring in there. Later on in the track, I thought the drumming and the fills there were quite impressive. Again, kind of had a bit of that shoegazing quality with that more harder rock edge, I guess you could say, to it. Those vocals were just kind of mixed in like a shoegaze song would be, especially in that chorus, kind of buried in the mix. And that's not a knock by any means, but the chorus, I question the reason for the freedom in unfeeling. I question the reason in this furnace of revealing. So obviously something's occurring here where you're get tested, I guess, so to speak. And what are you going to do? You're going to bend, but stand firm at the end of the day, or are you going to break? I think that's kind of the heart of some of this. Just how are you going to respond to some of that adversity in this life right here, man? I don't have too much more to add. It's definitely a group that has intrigued me here off of our first listen. That's for sure. And now we're going up to the top 2 on Åsmund's personal list here. We're going to a track that I already have hearted, man. I dig this one. I dug this record. The great Sufjan Stevens here coming in at number 2 with Angelo de Augustin with the track This Is the Thing, from the record A Beginner's Mind. And this album was met with a lot of widespread critical acclaim. It was created in a cabin in upstate New York. This is where both Augustin and Stevens watch movies every day for inspiration. This song was inspired by the great John Carpenter film The Thing, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Just a fantastic performance by Kurt Russell and just concept and everyone involved. And I think if you've seen the movie, you're really going to dig these lyrics, and even if you haven't, it's a great song on its own right. So number 2 on this list, let's get after it. This Is the Thing coming in at number 2 here, man. Leave it to Sufjan to just take such a horrific type of movie and make something and take inspiration from that and make something so beautiful. One of the prettiest songs of the year, in my opinion, man. Just the orchestration is just gorgeous and man, just so beautiful to the ears. And what Sufjan, I really enjoyed the soft vocals that he had as well. He notes, this is the thing about people, you never know what's inside. Somewhere in the soul there's a secret. Hysteria grows when it's invited. This is the thing about fiction, how everyone feeds on its paranoia. Essentially, if you've never seen The Thing, I won't spoil it, but a person is infected by an alien, a foreign creature, but it takes the form, of a human, so you don't know who's real and who's not. So, of course, I think there was some inspiration in the hysteria and paranoia lines that Sufjan was talking about here. And then that gorgeous chorus, my love is a witness for the loss of your innocence. So give it all up, give it distance, live it up for the path of resistance. Beautifully said right there, man. And he continues to know, you tell me what it means to be human. The freedom you seek is to free your mind. Then he goes and says about evil that you never know where it's lurking, where it's hiding. Again, drawing inspiration from that movie, man. Find your phantom in the cathedral. The more you search for it, the less you'll find. So kind of some esoteric thoughts in this one too. A song that makes you think, and one that I could definitely just have on repeat, man, for how beautiful the melody is. So great choice right there, Åsmund. Now we're to the number 1 song on Åsmund's top 10 list of 2021 songs. What's this going to be? It's going to be the Black Keys with their track Going Down South from the Delta Cream record that consists of hill country blues covers. This is the 10th record from the Black Keys, man, and so I'm very much looking forward to this one. From Akron, Ohio. Been going around now for 2 decades and still going strong. So curious to hear this one. I haven't listened to this record yet, and so excited to do that. And then at the end, I will give my favorites from Åsmund's list here. So let's get it. All right, Going Down South, topping our list off, man. And I was reading here, Dan Auerbach, who is the guitarist and lead vocalist for the Black Keys, noted that this was one of R.L. Burnside's hits. We strayed a little bit from the original on our version with the falsetto and percussion, but we liked how it sounded in that moment, and it's become one of my favorites on the album. Being in that blues vein, man, we had some bluesy guitar licks that just came screeching at us midway through the song. Lyrically, obviously, very blues inspired, where, you have somebody traveling this. Obviously, we're going down south. That chilly wind don't blow. I'm going with you, babe. I'm going with you, babe. Don't care where you go. And then, of course, with any great blues song, you have to add some heartache with another man. He sees another man. He's always hanging around. What does that do? That brings you the blues, baby. I'd rather be dead 6 feet in the ground. So, lyrically, it's short, sweet, to the point, man. Like I said, from that R.L. Burnside original track right there. But I did thought the way that Dan kind of manipulated his voice got really high at points. Not used to the Black Keys songs I'm used to. I really only know their biggest hits. But it was cool to see them kind of mix this blues country conglomeration together and hear how they were able to turn that out. I enjoyed the organ work on this as well. So a good jam, and that whole record's full of covers. I'm gonna have to check that out, see how the Black Keys have pulled that off. Now, going to my favorites on the list from Åsmund's favorites of the year, in no particular order. I'm going Afrik Victim from Imdao Mokhtar. He's definitely an artist I gotta show some more attention to, man. Love the guitar work on that fantastic track right there. Of course, Introvert by Little Simz. I'm gonna go Citadel by Emma Ruth Rundle, and This Is the Thing by Sufjan, and Ambiguous Norway. Just that was a heartbreaking track by Cassandra Jenkins as well, man. So cheers to Åsmund for bringing this list to us today, man. I enjoyed revisiting some of the songs I knew, but the vast majority I didn't, and it was fun to discover some new artists that I definitely need to check out. Let me know, as I said at the start of the video, your favorites from this list, as well as your top 10 songs of 2021. Really strong year for music, and I'm already looking forward to what 2022 has in store for us, ladies and gentlemen. So if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that big red subscribe button, and check out our Patreon page, Facebook group, and all our social media at the bottom if you want to connect with our group of music lovers more. But all that to say, man, thanks so much for watching. I hope all of you have a great rest of your day or night, and until next time, I will see you.